Welcome to Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well, thanks for joining me. Today is the day that I'm going to start prepping the roof ready for painting. And this is something I've been putting off for ages. It's a massive space. It needs a lot of prep work. I mean, a lot. So this is I've just got to get on with it. I'm going to prep up to this solar panel here today and just see how I get on, then maybe tackle the rest tomorrow. But I'm going to clear the stuff off the roof and get cracking. Where I'm moored up here in Bulbourne, there seems to be quite a lot of boat building activity going on. So I'm not feeling too bad about my prep work on the roof because this is quite noisy and dusty. I'm going to talk quickly so the copyright and the music behind me doesn't get me. Basically, the tricky area is going to be all of this. And I've got like a vast quantity of it all to do, but it's in pretty bad nick really. But this is where your hand's obviously going to grab, and this just needs to be dead smooth all the way around because this is where obviously the water gathers. So it's just going to have to be kind of as good as it can be, and obviously that is mostly to do with prep. I have basically cleaned that out as much as I can. Sorry about the light, it's a bit rubbish. But I'm using that to get into all of those bits. It seems to work quite well. I'm using that to scrape it all off, and then I'm kind of going on with some 80 grit paper. So I don't want to polish the steel, obviously. I just want to get off all the rubbish so it got a nice surface to adhere to, and I think that's all right. I'd like to get that to a nice shine. That in brass, nice and shined up, would look quite good against the navy grey. So I might see if I can take it off. If not, I'll have to just do it in situ. Before I go on with the car body filler, I've just cleaned the area with some white spirits. You'll see this stuff has got fibres in it. So it's a bit like glass fibre really. So you just want to kind of build up the layers. So it's all kind of covering it. And then obviously you can sand it back once it's done. But it's those kind of hollow areas there. I'll see how that dries, and if need be I can go on with a tiny bit more. But this is well and truly gone off. Okay, I've got about 1,000 more of these to do. That's not bad. There's a few kind of micro depressions in that, but it's nothing different to that bit there, which I'm hoping the high build undercoat will cover on the first coat and fill on the second. This is a bit sad. I've just taken a break from sanding the roof, which is not sad. I'm well happy about that. But I'm on my way down to Marsworth Village because I've heard that the very old, beautiful pub, the Red Lion, is on fire. And it's a popular pub with boaters. It's right by the canal. Well, it looks like they've managed to put the fire out, which is good news. That's pretty sad. Looks like the fire didn't consume the whole building, but with these old buildings, I don't know what it's going to take to kind of fix it all. Right, Finn and I are now going to take his boat, Betty Swallocks, up the Marsworth flight. Okay, so sit rep on the roof prep is I've done all of the port rail, all of the starboard rail, and in terms of sanding and prepping the actual main bit of the roof, I've kind of done half of it. So I've kind of done up to there. And I've got this bit here to go today. And the bit around the hatch, which I've never actually taken the hatch off this boat since I've had it. So this is going to be quite a job to clean all this up. Right, let's do this bit. I can't believe I've got to this stage now where the whole roof has been prepped. I've sanded all of these by hand. It's just taken forever. Well, it hasn't. I tell you, it's taken 3 days and I've been doing 8 hours a day. So it's kind of quite a lot of work. It's a damn sight more sanding than I ever did on Slow Patrol. And I think I've got it to a pretty good standard now for cleaning up and then painting. But before I do any of that, obviously I've got to take the hatch off, and as I said, I've never done this before, so I'm quite looking forward to it, although there's not really much to it. That's all right. That doesn't look like there's too much grim stuff in there. I think I'm going to take these brass rails off, and then I really should go on with some nylon blocks onto here so that it glides easily. It doesn't glide nicely at all, but it's still quite a lot of mods I need to do to this hatch. But in the meantime, I guess I can get it off the boat somehow. After knowing what prep work I put into Slow Patrol and seeing how she weathered, and having seen how Rob's gone about painting his boat and doing various touch-ups, and painfully watching that John Barnard series on prepping and painting narrowboats, I'm acutely aware that this is the most important phase of the whole process, which is the prep part, and it's usually the thing I've kind of shied away from and given half an effort to, but I'm really kind of pulling out all the stops on this one to make sure that the paint has got the best chance of looking good. I could have sworn I was going to paint the boat today, but this has been yet another day of prepping. I've been cleaning with some degreaser and white spirits, and basically I've run out of degreaser now, and I've got up to this solar panel here, to the end of that. So I think I am going to start putting the undercoat down on this bit here, because also I need to put the hatch back on, and so this needs to be kind of touch dry. So it's all cleaned up. Let's paint. Okay, time to get some more brushes for painting the boat. Here we go. Oh, hang on a minute. What did Andy K say to me on Buy Me a Coffee? Yeah, no, it's not those. That'll do. Yeah, let's get them. I've got myself a primed roller, and thanks to Andy K that put some money on my Buy Me a Coffee, I'm not going to go about using small brushes like this for laying off the roof. I've got myself some big ones. I followed his instructions, so thank you very much to Andy. And my plan for this is to go on with the cream for the whole roof, including the grab rails. This is just the undercoat. The roof will be cream in terms of top coat, or whatever colour I end up going for, but it will have like the grab rails, and anything you touch will be navy, or whatever the blue is I end up going for. But let's stop chin wagging and get this paint down so I can get the hatch back on. Right, let's do this. Daren't go anymore because otherwise it's not going to dry before the evening. But this is gone on pretty well for a first coat. Missed that bit there. Yeah, this is all right. There's the bit. Well, I don't really know exactly where it was. It's kind of there, I think. So that's looking all right. Few marks. I mean, it's not particularly even, not very easy that first coat, to be honest, but 2 more coats to do just on this bit here, so I should be all right. I hopefully get a pretty consistent colour by the end of it. I don't know how high build this high build undercoat is, but that is not going to do. So I'm not sure if I should just call it now, take that back once it's dried off, sand it all back, fill it with that car body filler, and then carry on. I've done the pits where I've thought it's bad, but I can already see quite a few of these. So yeah, I'm becoming a bit nervous about this now. I think I might have to, yeah, as I said, I just don't know how thick this paint is going to go on. 3 coats of this. Whilst the paint's going off, I'm going to clean up these 2 brass kind of lengths. That's the facing side, so that definitely needs to be cleaned and made nice and brass-like. That's the underneath bit, which just needs to be de-rusted and kind of made half decent again. All right, let's do that. That has been a few days very, very hard work, and it's not over yet because I've still got to do I've got to take that, sand it back a little bit and fill in all those pitted areas, which I thought the high build undercoat was going to fill, but I don't know, I can't really wait and do 3 coats of the undercoat and then decide to take it all back and fill it, because it's just going to be so uneven. I think if I was to put 1,000 coats of undercoat on, it might fill some of those pits, but I think I'm going to call it now. Bear in mind, I've only kind of undercoated about 1/5 of the roof, so I can go around tomorrow, do all of those little pits which I thought were going to disappear with the high build, but alas, no. But it has filled in kind of all those little kind of imperfections in the paint or in the surface. So it does kind of do what it says on the tin, just not on pits. So I've learnt my lesson there, which is good. It's really only the roof that's got any major pitting. Both decks are fine, and the cabin sides are really good. They're just going to need sanding back. The only work I've really got to do on them is the windows, but I'll crack on with that probably next week. But tomorrow I hope to finish the roof undercoat. That'll be good, and then I can start prepping the stern deck, so can't wait for that. But yeah, I'm kind of quite satisfied that I've given quite a lot of attention to the prep work, and I feel like, I mean, you know, where do you draw the line, I guess, but I feel like I've got a pretty decent kind of feel of the surface, and I'm cleaning it as best as I can with what am I using, sugar soap, and then white spirits, and then finally some degreaser. So I'm kind of giving the paint the best chance I can of it adhering and kind of feeling nice. So we'll have to see what it looks like after the first coat. Join me then. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.